G'day folks, and welcome to the Encounters Down Under podcast. I'm your host Anthony Goodall, and I invite guests to the show to share their amazing encounters with aliens and UFOs. If you or someone you know has had an encounter down under, or anywhere in the world for our new segment Encounters Unbound, please get in touch with me via the Encounters Down Under Facebook page or email at australianUFOsightings@outlook.com.au. Be sure to join the Encounters Down Under Facebook page and YouTube channel, where you can also get involved during the live stream interviews, sharing your thoughts and opinions during the live show. Also, if you enjoyed the podcast, don't forget to give us a rating and review on your favourite listening platform. But anyway, that's enough from me. Let's get into what you've been waiting for. Kick back and relax with your favourite beverage and enjoy the show. On the 10th of August 2025, the Encounters Down Under team went up to the Australian UFO Festival in the beautiful town of Cardwell and covered the festival there and done a presentation, meeting and greeting a heap of lovely people, and basically just a marvellous weekend itself. So as the festival was sort of coming towards the end there, we decided to go and try and check out where these Tully nests actually happened in 1966. So with a bit of inside information there, we found on Google Maps the rough location there, and we had our good friend Grant Levac come and join us as well to try and find out where this encounter happened. So off we went. Now, Tully's only about half an hour's north of Cardwell itself. So we checked out the site there. We weren't 100% sure if this was the right place there. We weren't completely satisfied. So we decided to go and ask one of the locals there and see if they can point us in the right direction. So unfortunately, it was a bit of a bum steer, and it turns out the sighting was actually over the other side and back in the other direction. So off we went and trying to find on Google Maps once again where this site may have happened there, looking for anything that might have looked familiar from the pictures that were taken back in the Tully Nest site. And we pulled up one of the other locals there as well and asked them the question if they can try and point us in the right direction. Sure enough, it turns out he was actually a young fellow at the time there and friends with the owners there, and off we went. He went and spoke to the owners there, gave us permission to go down the site on their property there and go and check out the site in person. So I got a bit of a private tour there, which was absolutely awesome. And once we got the location there, like you could sort of recognize in the pictures there from the newspaper articles and such, this was in fact the actual site where the Tully nests actually happened back in 1966, with George Pedley there and Albert Pennisi. It was absolutely a surreal location, experience. It was absolutely wonderful. It was just being in the location of a historic moment in time in Australia, to go and actually being in where this encounter actually happened. It's just an absolute historic moment in Australia itself. So after we all done some footage there, a bit of recording and whatnots, we decided to go back to the property owners there and thank them for allowing us to go in there and check it out. Turns out it was Shane Pennisi himself. So after a bit of talking there, he decided, look, come back in and we'll have a bit of a chinwag and talk about the whole encounter itself and his history on the property. So it was absolutely amazing. And what you're going to be seeing here is the full unedited version. Nothing's added, nothing's cut out. It's just the full, whole-blown conversation there with Shane himself. It will cut out at the end there because our recording equipment was sort of coming towards the end there with battery life and storage and whatnot, because we covered the whole weekend. A lot of coverage there, and obviously on this day that we just weren't prepared for this. It was just in the moment, and it's like, holy shit, we need to go and do something here. We need to get this conversation because we are not leaving without some sort of evidence here. And so I had to go and use my phone. That was in about half its life as well, the battery life. And so I was got most of the conversation there before it cut out, and had to go and swap devices there with Chris, my mate, and he had his phone there and continued on from there. So what you're seeing again, guys, is the full unedited version with the conversation with Shane himself. So yeah, guys, enjoy.
It's got nothing to do about making Spielberg movies or anything. No. So, okay. The history of this place. You understand George Pedley was the guy who saw the UFO.
Yeah. Yep.
George passed away a couple of years ago.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
He used to go park his Bedford truck here, pick up his Ferguson tractor and drive through our farm to get to his farm a bit further down. Now, when you're on the top of where the lagoon, it's called Horseshoe Lagoon for an obvious reason. Well, directly back this way, there was cane on both sides before you got to the lagoon.
Mm-hmm.
So he got to the end before he got out of the cane, and he could hear this hissing. So, old Ferguson tractor, he hopped off, looked around, he thought one of his tyres was gone, but no. He couldn't work it out, and he still like hissing, couldn't work it out. He got on the tractor again, just got outside, and this thing rose up out of the lagoon, but just above the tree level, tilted, hesitated. Oh,
Wow.
all right, now, he looked in the lagoon and he said, "But bullshit." George, and he looked in and he saw the swirling in the water there. So he said, no, you need to go and have a cup of tea. So he went through, made himself a cup of tea. He got the bed on, he jumped on his Ferguson tractor and come back again. By an hour, 2 hours later, the nest was up. You would have seen the photograph of the nest. Okay. So that had risen up. We had a beach house. I would have been 6 or 7 those days. So we had a beach house at South Mission Beach, and we were there for the day. So when we come home late afternoon, George was sitting on these front steps, waited there all afternoon. And Dad said, "What's up, George? You bald, or something going on?" He said, "No, you're not going to believe this." He said, "Don't laugh at me. I've seen a flying saucer." And he said, "Where?" So we all jumped in the ute. Us kids, brother and I'm the youngest, so he's 2 years older than me, in the back of the ute, and we go down there and what do you say? And we said, right, okay, George, you want to stay for tea? No, I'll go home. He said, Dad, so I'll see you here first thing in the morning. I remember him coming here, and we all had breakfast, cup of tea, coffee, whatever, and then we went down. We had a talk, and we saw it, and Dad said, well, we'll go and have a closer look. So us 2 kids, we were good swimmers. You had to push your way through those bulrushes. Those bulrushes aren't there anymore. There's a couple clumps around the place, but due to floods, chemicals and stuff, they've disappeared. Literally had to push yourself through it. And as a kid, I had to swim because it was pretty high. It's 3/4 to 7/8 full of lagoon. And then you got into this circle. It was about that thick with reeds. Perfectly, it looked like it was woven. It wasn't just a mess. It was swirled around, it was kind of woven. And we sat on it, went underneath, and it was a perfect circle underneath it. It was just bare mud, no reeds. So we got in, Dad got in contact with the local police, who were good friends. His report, he was made to make that report. The government didn't want no crap. Didn't want to start any stories or anything. So anyway, long story short, we got into contact, or Stan Sears, he was a UFO president of Australia. He was stationed in Brisbane Uni. He came up, and there started a great friendship between Stan and our family. So this was like Paddington Station, day and night, cars in and out. You couldn't stop them, and they were running over the cane. They were doing it. You got no idea. Anyway, we had a beach house, so we went down there. The police said, well, we can't stop them. We put a gate up here, I'll go through the cane and go around. So, we let it go. So after that had died down, a few months later, another marking, and then another marking, but smaller ones. Big ones clockwise, the swirl, little ones anti-clockwise. Same thing underneath. So we got into contact with Stan Sears, and we were starting to send samples down to him, to the university. Now, not just this lagoon. Yes, across there, he's no longer alive, old Charlie Murray, which is Dad's cousin. Two landed there, and Dawes, which is our in-laws. They had markings in their lagoon. Now, it lies on a magnetic grid line. The Earth's got magnetic grid lines. All right, so anyway, there are certain other things that, there was singeing on the side of a tree and all this type of thing. We took note of everything. Sent stuff down there. Some funny things happened with some of the samples. Presumed dead, but they started to sprout after a while. So, can't explain. And Stan and us, we never spoke much to people. And why that happened is that the guy in Tully, electronic guy in Tully, developed and made a monitor which any electromagnetic interference would set this monitor off. And it had a compass in it, and you used to go, and when I was a little kid, you used to have this bloody ungodly alarm. You used to shit. Anyway, you go there, look where the compass was pointing, go outside at night, and you can see these things hooping over. Okay? Really? So he got a little more adventurous, old Brian, and he got a movie camera, Super 66, and he adapted the same technique, used to go off on electromagnetic fields. Okay. We had radiation tabs all around the lagoon. Yeah. There was no radiation.
Okay, cool. Right. That's good. Good to know. That's good to know.
No radiation.
Cool.
Okay. You remember, we jumped in and
think
about that.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but no radiation. So they weren't running anything nuclear or anything. Anyway, set this up, and we'd go down. This is, a couple of years later. Go down. There's a marking. Go to the camera. Nothing happened. Go down. See another marking a couple of days later. Go to the camera. Nothing happened. This morning, I used to go down with Dad. We walk through floodwaters with 303 above your head because you don't know what. Handbag put them behind you. We'd be wading through chest, stuck to the chest at times. Down the back there. Every morning we used to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, got down this day. Not a marking. Bloody hell, the bloody camera went off. Right? Then packs it up, wraps it up, goes to the Tully post office to send it. CNC has never got it.
I heard this. I remember. I remember hearing this.
AGO was stationed an agent, secret agent, in the Tully post office.
I remember hearing that.
CNC has tried all those years after and everything to try and get it back, but all they said was there was nothing on it. There was that bullshit.
But that means they had it. How do you know there's nothing on it if you never had it?
Yeah, they had it. They denied it, and then they said, there's nothing on it. Okay, so there is a movie camera, Super 66 reel there, a whole reel of what had landed in that lagoon. But do you think they would let my old man even just see it?
No, of course not.
No. They'd stationed they sent two guys bivouac next door to the farm. There was all scrub around. And we know this because a couple of years later, a big car arrived in here, and this guy got out, older guy, introduced himself, and he said, formerly Flight Sergeant so-and-so from Australian Air Force. He said, I need to talk to you, Albert. he was one of the guys and another guy that was sent here to spy on Dad to see what was going on here. And Dad said, Dad had always asked them to come and investigate, okay? Dad was, and George were open.
Yeah.
Always made out that they were
Making stuff up or
making
crazy.
stuff up.
Whatever.
Anyway, this guy said, I'm retired now. And he said, I thought I owed
Convenient.
you an explanation or to tell you because our government won't tell you. He said, we were put there to spy on you to see what you were doing. And Dad said, and what did you find? He said, nothing. He said, even on your ex-army records, as clean as a whistle and impressive. And he said, well, why the hell didn't you come and see me? He said, how was it down there? How were the mosquitoes? And he said, my godfather. He said, I've never ever struck. They were vicious. You could put on stuff, they would bite through. They were just vicious at night. And he said, you could have come and seen me, your superiors. He could have had beds and a warm meal.
Yeah.
He said, why the hell did you go to all that extent?
Yeah.
So, and he said, you're clean. He said, of course I'm bloody clean.
Yeah.
Anyway, he said, all I want to know is if someone can tell me what it is, who they are.
Yeah.
So, over the years, there were, as I said, 50, 60 landings there, markings there, but not just, that was in the lagoon. Dad said, behind the house here, this first paddock, after a flood, he walked in, he saw could see through the cane, it was like daylight inside, walked in, it was a marking in there.
Okay.
So he got the cane pest board out, and they called it pom-pom disease. Okay?
Okay, that's a good one.
They couldn't
explain.
They couldn't explain it. Anyway, I found a few more after a flood on that paddock that was just down there. Down the other end, a couple of markings. I got the pest boy who was a mate of mine. I said, come and have a look at some pom-pom disease. He knew what I was talking about. And he said, really? I said, yeah. And because he was up with all that. Anyway, he was intrigued. So he come out and I sent him in there into the cane. He said, and he come out and he was just dumbfounded. And he said, it's all, I said, yeah. I said, it happened in the flood, just gone.
Yeah.
In that same paddock, there's 3 or 4 little areas. That was round. Couldn't grow cane properly. Anyway, a mate of mine, he was a soil guy, and he took some. He said, "I'll take some tests on it. Just come back. Aluminium oxide over the Richter scale."
Wow.
And just to know, outside of it,
Nothing.
nothing.
Wow.
And I said, and he looked at me and he said, do you think, I said, I reckon they crashed.
Wow.
I said, I've got a good hunch that they had a mishap.
Yeah.
So is all this usually happening like when the waters are high?
Wet season.
Okay.
In the early part of the year.
Yeah.
You know, we're walking down there's rifles above our heads.
Yeah.
Mosquitoes, my God.
Yeah.
Religiously going down.
Yeah.
Dad would go down, he'd be there every morning. And when he kind of got older and lived in town, I kept on going. He had an exercise book. And he had marked down every marking and made things. I sent it all down to my brother in Brisbane, but he's lost it. And anyway, he's gone a bit strange at the moment. But we had all the information, everything on UFOs I gave to him. You've got to remember, I was the one who did the most with Dad with all this, because I worked on the farm here as well with him and that. I did all this. Things, you go down, I'd go down, he was living in town, come back and ring him up and say, your visitors have been Oh yeah, how many? Just one, just a little visit. It had to be in code.
Yeah.
This is a stupid thing. We had to do everything in code because of stupid ASIO.
Yeah, right.
All they had to do, Dad wanted them to just come on board and say, "What is it?"
Yeah.
No. And they still like that today.
Yeah.
The 5 English-speaking nations, America's leading it. They, not 2023, they had, they all scrubbed the UFO side of things in their governments.
Yeah.
Except an American journalist and 2 fighter pilots in 2023 confronted the government.
Congressional hearing,
Okay, so
David Fravor.
a lot of things come out of that, and they agreed to. Well, they admitted to. When I was 16, Stan Sears showed me a photograph of a crashed UFO and some dead beings. I said, what do you reckon, Shane? And I said, I don't know. I said, it could be real. I don't know. Anyway, that exact photograph, the American government admitted to these guys that they had it and other ones in their possession, and they were trying to back engineer, reverse engineer.
Was this the Roswell incident?
Oh, there's a couple of incidences.
Yeah.
Look, knowing what went on here, and knowing what George and Dad went through with even just the Australian government, they were getting letters and phone calls from overseas, American scientists, professors, and everything from over there here. They became good friends with people they hadn't even met personally, but were in that much, in contact with each other. Had to be careful because we didn't know how much they were tapping the phones. We knew the post office was always being watched, and you knew that you were being discredited. So people say, well, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you say anything?
To who?
Go back 40 years. Tell me what life was like if you'd gone out and saw a UFO. Who are you going to tell?
That's exactly right.
I mean, even now, who would you kind of tell?
Yeah.
The stigma is still there.
I believe the Americans, the government's admitted they've changed. The Australians were dragged along in 2023. They begrudgingly went.
To the UAP.
2024, they went begrudgingly again, but knew they had to. So where are we at now with it? But you see, they've lost so much investigation and know-how now.
For sure.
The other thing is, a few years, 6 or 7 years after the original site, there was a landing, and those paddocks were disced, like that one that was disced up there. Dad found footprints about that big, like that. Okay, but it didn't start on the edge. It was about 10 metres in from the outside, nothing going into it, but he could see it was messed up. So he walked in and he found these little footprints and holes being dug.
No way.
Wow.
People don't know that.
That's interesting. That's fascinating.
People don't know that.
When was the last landing?
12 years ago.
12 years ago?
Yeah.
About 12 years ago.
And the same spot? Do you reckon you know why?
It's the wet season. Straight away, I know this is thinking outside the box, and like what you said, we were sitting there and was like, if we're coming to these places, we need to go, you know what I mean? So we can figure it all out. You've done all this.
We've done it all.
It's like
the technology is a lot different today too, though.
but still kind of doesn't make sense,
They're
right?
not finding things out on the craft they've got. They can't. We haven't got that intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, why is it such magnetic field that you did say, but it's also happening like for the wet seasons or floods or anything like that.
Well,
could it be coming from a mountain or the runoff, and then coming from through?
Well, obviously they needed water to land in, something to land on. I gather. Now, Stan and I, when I was a teenager, would walk down when he came up. He'd come up and stay 2 weeks at a time or something. Would every morning go. Whenever he came up, there was never a fresh landing. Never a fresh landing. And I reckon they were watching and saying, "Oh, we're going to catch him.
Stan's coming. We won't bother.
We'll just jolt him.
We'll wait till he's a day gone and then we'll land."
Yeah. So, we're walking back and we're going past that first lagoon coming home. And he pulled up and he said, "What are you're young.
Yeah.
What do you think? You've been amongst all of this. You kept quiet. What's your idea?" And I said, if they wanted to harm us, they would have done it way back.
Oh, without it.
But I said, I think there's more to it. And I looked at him. He said, "Yeah." He said, Do you get the feeling that we're being watched, and to see how?" And his idea was that they were watching to see how we are treating the planet, how we are developing.
Regular thing.
And I was saying to the group this morning, I said, it's the same thing. I said, that's because they asked me, "What do you think?" And I said, "This is the theory that we came up with." But I said, we've done a shocking job. I said, we can't even sit down and talk about these things. We can't even all point in that direction and say, right, we're going to take our planet that way and clean it up. I said, we've got big issues. We haven't progressed. And I said, that worries me. Yes, we've progressed in technology, but how much of that technology has come from these beings? We don't know, but there's certain things. I was talking about it this morning. There was the chip for TVs and things. All of a sudden there's a chip there. There's a lot that's been hidden away from us that hasn't been told. And I believe the governments are behind it, but it's sad because we're supposed to trust them.
That's right, 100%.
But they don't trust us.
No.
True. The government doesn't trust us, so they're wondering why people are pushing back at them. So I really think we need to grow up as earthlings, grow up and start talking to each other and start being sensible.
100%.
People say, have you seen them? One of the girls there, what do they look like? I said, I've told you, I've never met them. I said, my old man always said, if he was working down the back and he hasn't come home, we go down and find a tractor there, have a look and see if I've written UFO on it. He said, if I have, he said, I'm going for a ride. He said, he just wanted to meet them. There was a lady in here, Claire Noble, and she used to meet or talk to the commander. Anyway, and she said to Dad, the commander said he wants to meet you and all. And Dad looked at me and I looked at her. I said, she's that nutty it could be true. I said, I don't know. And he said, well, she said this particular night. So he come out, we had dinner, and we went down. I'd set up a little tent, one of those mesh tents, and we took a couple of flasks of coffee down with us in a land. Anyway, we sat there, it was drizzly rain, and you could hear the mosquitoes outside. I hope you're going to turn up, Commander. Commander Asta. At 5 5 o'clock. Dad said, "You ready to go home?" I said, "Yes."
Time to go.
No sign of the commander.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It was unfortunate because all Dad wanted to do was meet them,
Yeah.
or see it, or
Well,
Have answers. He wanted
he
answers.
wanted answers.
which understandable, right?
Yeah.
They've been coming for so long. That's what you want, right?
He was a life member of the Australian UFO Association, which was given to him.
Yeah.
Never ever used it, never ever went to conferences. And in his mid-80s, he said to me, "I've been invited to a conference in Brisbane, UFO conference." And I looked at him and said, do you need to go, and are you wanting to go?
Yeah.
And he said, "I think after all they've given me a life membership, I should at least show my face once." So anyway, we went down, and my brother, he put it with all the, that's where when I took all the stuff down for him, he put it on a point.
A USB.
You do a PowerPoint thing,
Yeah. Anyway, we went there, and we were walking into this conference centre on the Brisbane River, and there's we got into the foyer, and I said, "Adrian, brace him." As soon as we got in there, people looked up. They knew him. And all they saw was him as a young man. He was in his mid-80s. They still knew him.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, there was just a mass of people coming towards him. They just wanted to touch him. They just wanted. Anyway, we got all through that. Security guards came, just dispersed him and that. He signed a few things for him, but he just looked at me. He said, "If this is being famous," he said, "I don't want it." He was just a simple man.
Yeah.
He'd been through life. You know, he didn't have the easiest of lives, but he'd done well with himself and everything. So anyway, we sat outside and there was lectures going on or talks going on. So I snuck in to listen to one, and it was a guy telling stories that he'd investigated from around the world. He never was part of any of the stories, and he was getting paid big money to go and talk about all these things. I lasted 5 minutes and walked out. And everybody was ooh and ahhing, and I'm going, Anyway, came time for Dad to go in, and they wanted him to just say something. Anyway, Adrian had organised everything, this talk, and they got up on stage and Dad sat down in a chair, and Adrian was working all the gear and that, and went through it all, and at the end Dad said, "Anybody wanted to know something, or if I missed something that you want to know?" And I'm sitting in the crowd towards the back, inconspicuously. And someone asked the question, "Do you still go down to the lagoon, and are they still landing?" And Dad was living in town. Mum had died. And he'd come out to the farm, but only during the day, and he might be here 5 minutes, he might be here 2 hours. Anyway, he said, "Oh, no, but I can't answer that, but my son..." And he said, "Where are you, Shane?" So I stood up, and you should have seen the people around me. They just almost fainted. And then all these bits of paper come at me and everything. I'm just, I'm not the important man here. He is. So I had to give my spiel about it. But
did you ever look, and obviously you would have wondered why your family was experiencing this and everything like that. Did you ever think of to research your family tree or anything and try and piece something together or anything like that?
This is more about the situation of where the farm sits.
Okay.
This and what's on the like there's water lagoons. You've seen the lagoon. Well,
Yeah.
those trees on the bank were never there. I've let them grow because of my age and stuff. And well, I've been cooked for the last 3 years. I haven't done any. I left the lagoon. I got to a stage where I was documenting things down, and our kids were getting frightened. So I stopped documenting it. I stopped going down so often. But you know, you kind of got to let things go to a certain extent. But it's still in me. It's to go just in case.
I still think it's amazing that that's your resting spot where you can just clear your mind and feel at home. I think that's beautiful. So that's absolutely amazing.
Did your dad ever report of say anything about anything unusual? He ever experienced anything unusual beyond the markings? No, it was always
Besides the footprints.
No, it was
no footprint.
Can you describe the footprints? Like, did he actually describe if there's like any like toe markings?
Yeah, it was like a hoof, little hoof, about that size. I saw them myself.
Right.
Yeah. Little, like,
and they were around in a circle and they'd be digging here and go up there and digging
Did
there.
it look like they were bipedal footprints or maybe like four-legged, like that's if they were on all fours?
So it's like a hoof, and it's at the Horseshoe Lagoon. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, people say, before we could go and do things like plastic cars and things, people would come in and drive over or walk on. What are you going to do with it anyway? So, and he said, and I said, you take photo? We take photos? And he said, no. He said, less said, the better off the family will be.
I think you'd probably be like that, right? Sick of people hunting about it.
We know. We let Stan Sears know as well. People say, well, you should have. Unless you live through it, you don't know. What you don't understand what you go through, and you never put any targets on your back. Oh my God. The government and as I said, the Australian government's still dragging their feet now.
No, we know it.
Big time. The other five English-speaking nations are way ahead of us. The Americans, because of those three guys, Congress has said, okay, you're right, and they've opened it up again. They're the ones who are leading the way. But yes, there has been a lot of hoax.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of hoax. Those crop circles and things were hoax, a lot of them. And the guys have admitted it. This wasn't a hoax because George saw it. And the both of them just wanted to know. They just want to know. They just wanted the government to say, let them know. What are these? Who are they? What are they doing?
We sort of came to a conclusion, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is in the middle of nowhere. You don't have any cinemas. There wouldn't be much TV back in those days. Nothing to really inspire you or anyone around here to go and go, hey, I'm going to make a bush here, or see some sort of craft.
Well, we defied them. Helicopter flying upside down. What kind of helicopter fly fucking upside down? Crocodiles mating. Have you ever seen crocodiles mate?
No.
They don't make a big circle. They've got to get there first.
It's not symmetrical.
Through all the ducks swimming in circles. What? They're ripping all the reeds, bull reed rushes out. They're flat out pulling the bulrushes out to solve. Ducks swimming on top of water? This is all the stupidity that was coming out, and we knew it was stupidity. So Dad and George and Mum were stepping further and further away from those people because you had to. But there were some good people there. I remember there was a news reporter or she came a couple of times, and there was photos in the thing of George, her and Dad and someone else there that they were genuinely there to try and work out what was happening. But it's no help when you get a government like ours, or government department like ours. I don't know where they find those people.
Yeah. Why do you think the Australian government's so reluctant to follow the US's lead on taking the topic seriously? Or are they, and they're just not, their public position is very different?
Why is the Australian government the way it is?
That's true, that's a good point.
You know, come on, let's be realistic. If the politicians had first-hand experience of what people in Australia are experiencing,
it would be a different story.
Yeah.
You know,
It's so out of touch.
Yes, we're so out of touch. Remember, their pay grade allows them to be out of touch.
Yeah, sure.
So, you know, we're talking highly trained fighter pilots, officers, high-ranking officers, two of them, who had a gutful of being silenced all the time and said, no, the world's got to know about these things. And one guy who had the guts to stand up and push them and be there with them. I would like to meet those guys personally. Not to pat them on the back, but just to sit down and say,
have a conversation and
what did you guys go through?
Yeah.
During my interview, I broke down quite a few times. Just because I'm finally letting this out to the world.
Yeah.
What my family, what my father and George Pedley went through.
Yeah.
But it's a very brave thing to do.
Well,
you've got everything to lose and nothing to gain by.
I'm the last here. I'm the last one who was pretty heavily involved with it all, with Dad. And what, they're going to cover it up? It's a reality. It happened. And it happened not just once, twice.
Multiple times, yeah.
So, you know, you can't keep on putting your head in the sand.
For sure.
Sometimes you've got to pull it out and look around and see what is around and what is happening. But it doesn't help when you have government departments doing what they do.
Yeah.
What? I've got to control the population. Australians never had to be controlled by a government like that. Australia ran Australia.
Yeah.
You know, we need to chuck this attitude off now.
Yeah.
And get back to the people we were. But it's, you know, people say, why now? Fuck, I'm old.
What's your age anyway now?
I'm 66 and a half.
What are you eating? Can I eat it? Because I'll probably look older than all you guys. I'm the youngest.
What was that?
What are you eating to look so well?
I'm on a low carb diet because I have to be because of my open heart surgery. I had 6 bypasses.
Wow.
I'm 1 or 2 who survived.
Bloody hell.
Hereditary. I've always been a fit guy. I played professional, those days semi-professional rugby league. Sailed. You got invited to the Australian titles for herons. I've done all those things.
Yeah.
And basically, I've only got a small farm, yes, but I don't have all the whiz-bang machinery. So I've got to work it.
Yeah.
So, plus I've got a wife who makes sure I eat properly and do things.
That helps.
And that's a big factor.
Yeah.
But people say, well, why are you getting off? Well, there's more to life than just sugar cane. You know, all the kids, they're all grown up. They're all in good jobs and doing things. It's our time now to do a couple of things that we want to do before we die.
Yeah, for sure.
So
absolutely.
Sugarcane farming has been done.
Yep.
So it's the next thing. None of the kids want to come back on here.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I wouldn't. It'd be me putting a millstone around their necks, because farming is not what farming used to be. It's gotten out of hand. It's high tech, and it's outpriced itself.
Yeah.
So the family farm, there's only a few of us left. And you know what? I love it because I'm not getting told by a corporation how to
Your own boss.
how to poison people, because that's all they do. I try and use the least amount of poisons, farm as the best farming practices that I can.
Yeah.
But they're outlawed because the big fellas can't do it.
Yeah.
Haven't got the labour and haven't got the machine to be able to do what I do, which is proper farming.
It's just gone out of control.
It is out of control. The government's not going to help. It's not going to do it. It's not going to change it around. But they turn around and say, "But we need to have a healthy nation." Well, you keep on putting pesticides and artificial stuff into growing your food.
Yeah.
It's going to go through to you, eh?
Yeah.
Can't avoid it, right?
So just a question, in regards to your kids, like how did they feel growing up with all this sort of history around this farm?
Petrified.
Yeah.
I grew up with it. They didn't.
Yeah.
I understood it. They don't, because my makeup, I suppose. But I was amongst it. They needed the mud sample underneath. I got the mud sample underneath. And then, all right, I'm about to go for a swim. But we knew it was important to get those samples.
Yeah.
What was the government going to do? Were they interested in doing anything? No. So, and I heard a couple of the. You did listen to the podcast, Expanse? Well, you heard some of the government people talk there. When I heard them talk on what they said, I was going off my head swearing. Liar. You never came and asked.
Yeah.
You assumed. Assumed makes an ass out of both you and me. If you spell it out. So this is what you're up against, and you're still up against it because Australia's dragging its legs. They're not fair dinkum about it, and they won't accept a lot of things. But I'm sad to say, but Americans have got a lot of facts.
That's the battery going.
They've got a lot of facts, and our guys need to be kicked off. You have the stools kicked out from under them, so they fall on their bums, so they can get up and say, "Oh, I better start thinking about this." Look, those days are gone. If you want to know anything, you get on the internet, get on that thing there, and it'll tell you anything that's happened around the place. You even actually see people getting killed in warfare.
Yeah.
There and then.
Yeah.
Not 2 months after, instant. So they can't hide a lot of things, but our governments, those departments are still trying to.
Yeah.
What? I don't know.
Like that lady, they're trying to bring out like that e-safety thing, like how they control the whole internet. So what you can sign in, like for Google, you got your search engine to show your ID and proof of age.
Do you think the government is fully acceptable of that?
100%. They'd have full acceptance.
The only acceptance is on the fact that they can get more information out of it.
100%. Yeah. They said it was for safety for the kids. I like how they do that, but it's definitely
so stop this way of thinking. They're just like you and I. Just stop it and start working as one. Start working together. Don't try and put yourself above anybody else, because you're not. That's a fact, and if they want to question me about it, come here and work the farm with me and tell me if I'm better than anybody else. And the other thing is, a lot of them need to get out and do the long yards themselves.
Yeah, sure.
hands dirty.
Sure.
Yeah, they need to get their hands dirty. But how many of those government people did come out here and talk to Dad?
Yeah.
Not once.
No. Just spied on him.
Yeah.
You know?
What's that tell you?
Yeah, it's an asshole, really.
It's achieved nothing.
Yeah.
All it's done is made me. Hate's a strong word, but for a better word, they hate AGO. For all that they've done and all that they are. They're not intelligent. They're supposed to be our intelligence, but they're not intelligent.
Just a force of a control of some
Yeah,
kind
it's
of
about-
the narrative a certain way.
Yeah. So stop all the stupidity and start. Look, there's a lot around Australia where there's been sightings and people that up more than me in all this. Way up more than me. But they need to start coming and talking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's the harm in talking with an open mind?
Yeah.
There's no harm, but they're not going to do it.
No.
The Australians are not going to do it. They're going to rely on all the other information from America,
Yeah, 100%.
Canada, England, and New Zealand.
Yeah.
So my wife's New Zealand, and that's another thing I've got to admit, that they're doing it better than the Australians.
Yeah.
And that sticks in my but they are doing it far better than us.
Yeah.
So Australia, where are we?
Yeah, it's definitely lost its way with a lot of things, and it's really hard to see a future for Australia at this stage. With the way it's going, it's only gone bad.
I know. I got faith in the younger generation because there's a bit of a pushback with things. I know, but my young fellow, we were talking on phone to him. He's got a 7-week-old, and they seem to realise things. They're not being not so gullible as a generation before.
Not so set in the old ways. Just accept things.
I mean, they will question or ask, or they will look in. If they don't know the answer, they'll get on their phone and they'll
Good look.
look it up.
Yeah, they'll try to find out.
And I admire them for that. We didn't have that facility in my day, but we were more discerning because that we had to.
Yeah, that was the only way, right?
It was the only way.
Yeah.
Only way. But with respect to all of this stuff here, I know Mount Mackay there at night you see them hooping around there.
Oh, okay, right.
Often, some of my uncle used to live on the other around the foot of mountain there, and he said he's coming home one night, and he said one Zoom day for him.
Wow.
Get out.
We were questioning that mountain.
Yeah, we were.
They're not uncommon.
Yeah.
They've never have been.
I've been here a long time.
So, going on research-wise, like over the years, you're old man, you like experiencing sort of things. Like, how deeply did you look into this topic of UFOs, potential aliens, or what? Like, what did you sort of come to a conclusion of?
Well, remember, Stan Sears become a very good family friend. When he'd come up occasionally, he'd put on a UFO lecture night about sightings around the world. He was well up with everything. We were quietly privileged about being a part of it, if you can understand what I'm saying. We didn't put on any flashing signs.
No.
We didn't we weren't crazy. We for goodness sake, Dad was a staff sergeant in the army there. He level thinking, working out stuff, and where things were. We were all like that. Hopefully still am. But we just carried on collecting samples, sending them down, keeping our ears open if somebody, now and again somebody in the, well, I didn't realise after that expanse, that program, how many Tully people had actually, but they were the same, they never spoke about it.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yep.
Nobody would speak about it because they knew that, you know, you just get set upon by government people. It's just unreal.
So is that the light switch there? Do you want to put that on?
I'm going to have to say thank you and excuse me. I've got to drive back to Cairns.
Oh, you poor bugger. Oh, so you don't want to walk down and spend the night down there? You can forget that. I ain't going to give you a mosquito repellent either.
Thank you so very much
That's
for your
all right.
time.
That's all
I
right.
greatly appreciate it. I really appreciate you sharing your recollections with us. For me, anyway.
As I said, I didn't see it. As a kid, I grew up with it. People, you know, today, who are they?
Yeah, what are they?
Tell me.
Yeah.
I'll be happy if you can tell me. And the thing is, why now? Why talk about it now? What are they going to do to me now?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, what's Asia going to do to me? They can't do bloody thing.
Yeah.
So, as far as I'm concerned,
Do you think the aboves will come back again since it's been like 12 years?
no, it's too opened up. All the scrubs been smashed down around it.
Yeah.
You notice on our place, all the scrubs left on the lagoons.
Yeah,
All around. Dad was he loved nature, but he knew at the farm, but he didn't destroy it. There's too much land destroyed now. It's too open.
Yeah.
So I doubt whether they'll come back unless attitudes and change in government and people actually meet, or they want to meet us, so, or communicate with us.
But it's just crazy thinking about that, because if they did, it would solve so many
It will
problems.
change the mindset a lot.
No, create more problems.
Are you right? I've always thought, like, you know, if they came down and just put order into place, say, listen.
Look at the human being. Look at the greed and the want to be the man, the top king, the king,
top dog.
The tribalism.
So you'll get all these people trying to get information that'll give them the.
Do you want to
Thank you again, Shane. I really appreciate
It's all right.
it.
Do you want to take a photo of these at all? That's
If you're willing to have a photo.
We had a lot of photos today, Samantha.
Bill Chalker sends his regards. If you had a chat with Bill many years ago,
I'd like to meet all these guys again if I could.
Yeah, right. Well, Bill would have loved to. Oh, thank you.
That's why I'm taking photos live.
I'll send it to Bill. He'll get you.
Beautiful.
Tell him to
Thank
look
you.
me up.
Yeah, no, well, he wanted to come up for the conference because he's getting on in years, but he's still doing research.
We're all getting on it.
Yeah. So I'm the young blood in terms of the topic. I'm learning off people like Bill. So
Look, you always come to this V in the road,
yeah. Fork Road.
and you wonder, well, which one do I take?
So the same all the time.
Because you're not going to get any help.
No.
Then you're going to have so many people ridiculing you.
Yeah.
You said before, why not talk about it? Well, I remember phones ringing. I remember people coming up and talking stupid,
Borderline harassment to some of the
stupid crap.
Yeah. You don't want to have that in your life.
And people who just got the image in their mind or the thought in their mind that that's what it is. Well, can you prove it to me that it was that?
Yeah.
I'll be only too happy to agree with you, but prove it to me so I know, understand. No one, I put that out to people. I said, if you can tell me who and what they are, I'll sit down and listen.
Yeah.
No one's come back. That's why I'd love to talk to all these guys, just to see how they feel and what they've been through.
Yeah.
Because quite honestly, it's a lonely existence that thing you've got to keep in here because you're not going to even let one bit of you go. Because I watched Dad and George, that crap that was
That they had to put up with and were subject to. Yeah, it's a bit of a lonely existence. I mean, we all take this topic seriously from the perspective of, well, the US government says UAP are real, Australia's burying its head in the sand, and that's been part of my drive is to better understand why Australia doesn't want to engage on the topic.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? Yeah. Is it they can't admit that maybe they were wrong?
Yes,
maybe they did do it the wrong way? They could have done it a lot better? Do they need to apologise to people? Yes, they do.
Would it put them out of power, knowing that there's something out there that they would have no chance of going up against?
Well, listen, if they out there wanted to change things, they could do it in a blink.
Yeah.
I can tell you that right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the fact that they haven't, and they haven't, as far as I know, interfered too much with us. How long is it going to take us to gain another 10% knowledge and respectability in the way we carry on with our lives?
Yeah.
In advance. We are so far behind. Why are we still having wars, for goodness sake?
Yeah.
If the planet can't take that much more, yet we keep on going. We keep on letting them produce nuclear warheads and whatever, and creating these wars. All the germs that are floating and shit that's floating around the atmosphere.
It's a scary. I got 2 young children. It's a scary time for me as a father to know that they're growing up in that.
We're right. I only got another short time.
Nah, you got another 50 in you, I reckon.
You hate me, don't you?
Just let me die. No. We need people like
Don't
you.
worry, I think about it. I think about where we're going with it, and one theory that stands through us is that they were a policing force. Well, I wish they were a real policing force, really, because all this shit would have stopped years ago. So we need a good liven up this planet, but we got to get around the bureaucracy and the hierarchy and the single-minded people. Who are leading us down that one way. It's all about greed, so we got to get past this greed.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, I'll leave you gents to it. So thank you once again, Shane.
We won't want to take too much of your time,
We are so grateful you don't understand.
No, I don't.
So you mentioned your experiences happening around the farm, but you never experienced any abductions, no family members had anything like that happening at all?
No, never. We felt safe here. As you felt down the lagoon, it was just serene, it was peaceful. That's how we felt here. There was no sign of anything. So we didn't worry about that. Plus, we had a pretty good watchdog. But yeah, no, never feared that at all.
No, that's all right. Cool, awesome. No, thank you.
And my father were the best mates. That sergeant of police and Dad were the best mates. I said, that is not Moylan's words.
Yeah.
So he was pressurised into it. All this, and knowing, and people say, oh no, the government wouldn't do it. Yes, they would, because I knew that man. And he was the most loveliest person and one of the best sergeants of the police we had here. And he would never, ever, he used to come here to have morning smoke. He loved singing. He had a beautiful voice. And my old man had a good voice. So they used to come here, him and his wife, and had lunch, and then they'd sit down, and he'd have his records and they'd play in that.
But it's not going to just be Australia. This is going to be America and everything like that to actually try and get funds together to actually save this as his family loom and be recognised for this and not to be taken as a joke.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, the government's done wrong here, and if it gets published out like that, then they're going to have to face the music.
Oh, yeah.
So...
Well, they'll deny it.
Yeah.
Go deny it. But hey.
We'll petition it, we'll argue it, we're getting right in there and get down dirty and try and stop this.
As my old man always said, all they had to do was come, sit down there, have a coffee and a piece of cake, and let's talk.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
You know? What do you need? He was quite open. He openly rang to say what had happened here.
Mm. Yeah.
And before he could even blink, it was all turned up in his face.
Yeah.
You know. So this is what happens. As I said, I got a shock at how many people did come forward talking about even their experience of sightings around this district. Some of them I knew, and I thought never knew. They never spoke, but they did speak to ABC.
Yeah.
I suppose they were they told them they were doing a spiel on here.
Yeah, because there was even a gentleman, because obviously when we were actually looking for this place, didn't we, as we came back on the other side, and we actually got to a site where we thought it was, and like we're talking about, we're going, this, but it didn't feel the same as what your place was, obviously. And then, we were sitting there, and it's like, we need to go around and have a look. And then this is on the other side of the highway. We came across another guy in a big John Deere cutting his grass, and we asked him about it, and he was like, I remember I was a young boy, and really young when my dad was saying it was happening over there, and he goes, it's on the other side of the road. So we just took by chance.
So then we started looking at Google Earth there, and we're like, it might be this bend of the creek here, like over that way there, and then we pulled over and thinking, there's the next minute, was it Dave?
Dave
McDonald.
And he was just pulling out of his
driveway. He was on Expanse, Dave.
Yeah.
And then you got to talk to him, and then he's like, I'll take you there. And he's like, holy shit, here we go. Oh, wow. What are the absolute odds of this happening right now?
But look, people now will be quite open. You know, if you're serious, they'll pick you if you're a nutter. Like I said, I'll pick them a mile away. And I'll let them go. That's how they want to be. That's fine.
Yeah.
But don't try and put words into my mouth, because
I've
been here, I lived it.
Yeah.
And as I said to one guy in that Brisbane thing, I lived it, mate. You're just imagining it.
Yeah. Like to us, especially to Anth as well, like obviously it's kind of, you are, if you don't like it if it is, but you are a teacher to everyone, you know what I mean? Like, you're the one with this knowledge, no one can take that away from you.
I just coming here telling what I've gone through.
Yeah.
What I've experienced. The real McCoy was George. He was the one who actually saw it. Him and Dad, they were like brothers. And Mum and Dad were very protective over George, especially when they saw people kind of try and ridicule him and put him down and things. George is a quiet man. He's a great guy, fantastic guy, quiet. He didn't need to have that done to him. You know? That's
not fair on anyone, really, when they go through some sort of experience that they can't understand and explain. You know, it's absolutely not fair.
No. Well, how would you be driving your ute through there? Next minute, something comes up in front of you, real as life, and then just goes boom. What do you want to do? You want to tell somebody?
Absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
So who do you tell?
Yeah. Especially back in those days, absolutely.
He knew he could talk to Dad because they were good mates. And so when Dad went down there, he said, you always piled into the ute and went down there, and he said, wow, okay, you better come back in the morning for breakfast and have a talk about it and go down. You know, this is the way they were. Yeah. He'd get a phone call from the main door, and say, there's a motor, over we go. Buckets and little spade and bottles to collect water samples and shears to cut reeds and stuff. We did all that and sent it away. So never got any of the reports back because we knew if we sent reports back, you'd be intercepted. So I would love to get my hands on those reports and now. And
Get that video now would be great.
Oh, how good would that be?
Yes.
well, not the video.
The real video. The real, yeah.
Well, I've given up.
Yeah, that's fair.
They'll never release it.
Is it possible that we won't take your number, but is it okay if Anthony gave his number to you if you ever just wanted to call when you got closer to something like not them landing? I'm talking about when you wanted to turn over the property or anything like that, or you're looking at something and you can literally have that piece of paper, look at it, and you can literally turn around and go no, or you could literally go, I might give him a call because I want to ask something or something like that. But it's up to you. But like I said, you can use it as fire starters for a fire. That's what he did with me when we first.
Not allowed to light fires in there. They would take all the fun out of it. I'm the last of the year of lighting cane fires. We could light a block up in the middle of a whole bloody area and not.
What a sight would that been to see? Like I've been
past a few and they go up.
But it's an art in burning cane.
Wow, I would love to see that.
You don't want a real hot burn either,
Yes.
because it takes the sugar content and things out of it. So we used to do all that. You go and ask a young group now, you go and burn that paddock. They haven't even got a lighter amongst them. They wouldn't have a clue. So that's another art that's gone and lost. So.
Wow. So, what time did it actually happen? Sorry, what was it? I've got a mind blank here. Was it George? No, George.
George.
What time did that happen when he first encountered it?
That was in the morning, probably around 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock or something.
Yeah. So it was basically like then you sat. Was it that day you actually sat down and had breakfast and then went down there, or did you wait a whole day?
No,
next morning?
he went down. In the morning, we'd already gone to the beach house.
Yeah.
So he saw it. He went back to his humpy he had on the block of land there. He had a cup of tea and tried to do some work, I suppose. And a couple of hours later, he come back through. He said he got the better on me. That's when he saw the nest up. And then he come back here. We were at home. I don't know. All I remember, I don't know whether he'd gone to the Urima Hotel, because he was pretty shaken. Because he was shaken when he got here. I've never seen George, kind of lost for words and stuttering, and that was late afternoon. So I don't know how long he'd sat around here or what.
Yeah, that's right. Because I'm just trying to work at time frames.
He's so in the afternoon we come back. Late afternoon, told us, jumped back in the ute, went down there, and we got back here before dark and he wouldn't stay for dinner. So, he's one man who's carried that around with him till the day he died.
Yeah. So he had a wife, did he?
He eventually got married and had a wife. Yeah, she's still alive.
At the time of the experience there? Or
No.
So he was by himself. I wonder how he felt like that whole night just sitting there, like, he just sat there stewing on it all day and then all night, and then come back the next morning to go back down.
Well, he was relaxed because he told Dad. As I said, him and Dad were good mates. So I suppose someone who stood beside him was the biggest thing for him. Never lost that friendship, even with us kids, with George. Respected that man to the hill.
Yeah.
Never saw him raise his voice. He was a jovial guy. But if he was serious when it needed to be serious, and truthful.
Yeah, that's the best thing too.
Yeah, he was an old bushy. Not bushy, but he was. just a genuine guy. So, and everybody in Tully knew him. He's genuine. It's just TV reporters and reporters who teach people in the media.
So another one too, like obviously the town would have heard all about this happening. Like what is the vibe from the town itself there when it comes to this sort of
the next day onwards, it was like bumper to bumper.
That's just from the town themselves trying to check this out.
All around, yeah.
Wow.
Then it got out.
Yeah, and then
On the news, more and more and more and more, and it just went on for weeks.
Wow.
So you couldn't stay here.
Yeah.
There's so much dust and noise and lights, car light, car lights.
Oh, you'd be sick
But
of
where are you going
it.
to see at night? You got to shine all the car lights in there to see it.
Yeah, well, they're probably hoping they're going to see a craft themselves.
All the empty beer bottles,
Oh,
rubbish.
yeah. That's a bit crude.
Just
That's very
ran over a
disrespectful.
cane, they just parked anywhere. Where'd they play him? Shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, of course.
Did you get that? You think about it.
Yeah.
It's just wrong.
Yeah.
But I could understand it. They were all excited.
Yeah.
But try and explain it to someone. Me coming to you now, you and me, how'd you do it? How'd you make that?
Back in those days, absolutely no. How would you? How could you? How could you?
They're hitting the top of the tree all at once at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, how you can do that?
Yeah.
Like I was trying to think, even if you tried to, like someone had to make a big slasher or something like that. But
Big roll at that point.
How did you get in there without messing up the rest of the ring?
Yeah, so you get a giant roll
like,
and
this
try
is
and...
all fairy tale rubbish what everyone can make up. Like the truth is exactly what
I just
happened.
didn't want to take it and just look at it and let their brain work out, well, something's done that, but nothing that we know of.
Yeah.
And you couldn't, as I said, it was woven like you weave on your shirt.
Yeah.
It wasn't a mess. It was, you just had to see it.
Too precise.
It was just swirled around in that. Everything was just, just no mess. Not not someone just pulled it up and just swirled it. No. And it was about that thick and floating on the top.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. You can't explain that, eh?
No, oh man, he had carried a bit of weight at that stage. He lost it again, but he sat on it. He didn't go through it. We were jumping, we were on it, climbing over it. The dog was climbing over it.
Oh, yeah.
It took our weight.
Jeez.
So it was about 25 feet across.
So it took you like you could easily walk over it.
You were on your hands and knees. You could walk across it.
And it was holding all that kind of weight. That's awesome.
Wow.
So maybe it's a way that they come down and they weave it in a certain way to
Well,
hold
the way the machine,
Rotation.
rotated,
That's how they work out.
and the suction up.
Yeah.
So
It's creating like a vortex of some sort.
don't know. Next time you see them, ask them. We could make a fortune out of this.
Absolutely.
New vehicle.
I'm not here for the money, I'm here for the truth.
I could probably say,
take them up.
I want to see him, but I'd probably see like a little flash of like, run away. I'm not as tough as these guys.
Little lights, little flashing lights and everything going. I'm trying to, bit by bit, I recall, because it's been so long ago and I haven't spoken to people really deeply about it until recently. So there's a lot of stuff that I've probably blanked out or just let go.
Yeah.
But yeah, two cigarette shaped nests. They were interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just interesting. Yeah.
So was there anything nearby that at all, like any circular ones nearby that with the cigarette-shaped imprint at all? Like, because I'm just trying to think, like, if it's a craft that's landed there with
All of them were
door going
most-
down and on the grass.
No,
and
no,
making
no,
bricks
no,
out of
no.
that.
There are actual markings.
Okay.
Like then a few. Then there was one stage someone landing across the. They were just landing across. Obviously they just coming down land, but why so many over these years? I don't know. What were they doing? Is it R&R for them there? Right. You don't know. All these things Stan was throwing up. He said, is it the arrest spot, or is it a holiday destination, or is it military? Or what is it?
It's only them who can
Exactly.
say it.
Exactly.
We can
And
say
as
it.
Well, the governments
Stan,
know, but they won't tell us.
yeah,
I don't even reckon they do know.
I think they've got an idea.
as Stan would say, only who knows? We don't know. We're just speculating. We're just thinking. He said, as long as you just understand, you're just thinking. Don't bear it in your mind as being fact, because he said we don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why I really liked old Stan, because you talk deeply about it, but it wasn't about it's an actual fact. It was just throwing ideas across, trying to ponder over it.
Yeah.
But this is what government department can't do. But they need to do it.
Absolutely. Well, look, mate, we won't take too much of your time, mate. Like, thank you so much. Like, mate,
All right.
appreciate it, mate.
See you,
thank
mate.
you so much. This is like, a dream come true, basically, is coming to an actual site and actually talking to the person who witnessed it.
I'm only the next level down.
Oh, look, I know, but still, like, you were there and you witnessed everything that went
I'm the
forward.
last
Like, it's absolutely amazing.
Of the one of the people that were here in the world began.
We can't thank you so much enough. Like, it's